Hey everyone, it's Flying Kraken here, and I'm back to bring you another amazing Druid deck and gameplay video. And I have another special one. I just got back from my trip to Disney, and last time we did a little Druid to get the legend, and I thought of the exact opposite. I was feeling big. I really wanted to play some big, chonky minions. And I played it kind of as a meme. We started out about 2000, 2200 on the ranks. I let my rank go a little bit, and we just kept winning. We took out the spammies and we added wrath to deal with slither spears, and we just started winning and winning and winning, and we just couldn't stop winning. And I didn't think this was going to be a video where I climbed a ton, but we climbed a ton, and I can't wait to talk about this deck right here. But right before we talk about this deck, if you like the content that I produce, please hit that like button and bonk that subscribe button. It really helps up the channel, and I really appreciate it. But let's get right into the deck tech right now. So like always with your ramp stuff, this whole deck is based around basically two things. Or three things. First, you have your package to cheap mana, which is your Wild Growth, your Innervate, your Nourish, your Vandar Stormpike, awesome addition to the deck, and Guff. So that's your usual ramp package outside of Vandar. And we play Vandar because we don't really need any minions before this. And if you get Vandar, you don't really need Vandar to win with this deck versus a lot of decks. But when you do get Vandar, your deck just gets put into hyper mode and you just pump out stuff constantly. And at least versus slower decks like Warrior, other Druids, stuff like that, you just really pump out boards that they have to deal with every single turn. And if they can't deal with it, you're going to smash them in the face for a lot of damage, and that's really fun. But if we have to play some spells below 4 mana, what we're going to play? Well, obviously we play Wild Growth, like I said, but I replaced spammies with Wrath. Like I said earlier, I really faced the problem where this deck was really facing some issues with Slither Spear on one, whether it's Hunter, whether it's Mage, whether it's Demon Hunter, whatever deck was playing Slither Spear on one, if I just could not deal with the card, and I just lost. And so Wrath was like, that's the perfect answer. So in those matchups, you're definitely going to be mulling for this card a lot. It's awesome. Moonlit Guidance, it's just become a Druid staple. It's in like every Druid deck. Getting extra copies of cards you want is awesome. Earthen Scales is great in big decks especially, and when you are playing Vandar on turn 3 or 4, even turn 2 sometimes with Innervate, and you're getting out big things a lot cheaper, you're able to play Earthen Scales a lot cheaper, keep you in the game. And that leads to me to why with Earthen Scales and Onyxia, or not Onyxia, but with Alexstrasza and Kolak in the deck, I don't think you need 2 Boomkins. We cut 1 Boomkin for space. The original version of this deck also played Queen Ashara, and I think Queen Ashara is probably one of the most bait cards for this deck. It's super overhyped. It's not very good in the deck, and it's a fun card, but I don't think it's very good in the deck. Onyxian Warder has been really good. It's kind of helped with the fact that we don't have spammy in the deck. I'll get the spammy later. We'll talk about it if you want spammy in the deck. But Onyxian Warder is definitely good because it's either killing one thing or 2 things constantly, and you have enough dragons in your deck that you're always going to have one in hand by the time you play on turn 4 or 5 if you've ramped. And it's very good. Kolak. Kolak is probably, we put it in the deck because I have it golden, and I really want people to believe in the turtle, and we put it in here. It overperformed. It really did. There was a lot of matchups, at least in the big deck, where you just don't have time to take advantage of the early game, and especially versus Rogue and other aggro decks, they really have to put a lot of effort into killing its shell, gaining that 8 armor, and then if they don't kill this, they feel like they put enough effort into the shell, then you can just trade with this or go phase. Versus Warrior, they have to put a removal spell into a 0/8 taunt thing to get rid of this, and they don't like doing that because they would rather have their spot removal for your bigger minions. That's why this card is a lot better in a bigger deck than it is in a smaller deck, because they just don't need it. Skill of Onyxia, it's good. It's good by itself. And to the third point of the deck, the second point was big minions. The third point of the deck is you are a Kazakhstan deck. Versus Warrior and stuff, you can just beat them down with bigger minions, but they will be able to remove a lot of your stuff a lot of the time. So we need a late game plan versus those late game cards and late game decks. And Kazakhstan is the perfect thing for that, and dragons just happen to be what we want to do. And especially when you're cheating the mana of Vandar, this thing's 5 mana, you're playing this sometimes. So early in the game, It's super easy to do with the amount of dragons we're playing. We're playing more dragons than the average deck usually. Miracle Growth, good card. Alexstrasza, good card. Ysera the Dreamer. So, you know me and my channel, we love Best Girl, we love Ysera, but there hasn't really been a Ysera deck in Standard in a very long time for this card, and I think this is the perfect Ysera deck. It utilizes the deck very well, and it gives you a board wipe as a ramp deck. It gives you extra damage as a ramp deck. It gives you a sap as a ramp deck, and it actually gives you 2 dragons. So if they Mutanus one of your dragons away, you have 2 dragons in Ysera, unless of course they Mutanus Ysera. But she's really good in this deck, and a lot of times with a ramp deck, you're ramping and playing removal spells. Sometimes you don't have time to draw cards, so you just play Ysera and you draw 5, and you have an answer for anything you're looking for. It's an awesome feeling to have, and I love this character and card so much. I'm glad we get to play it. Lok'lar is has become a druid ramp staple also. If a aggro deck is beating you down, gets you to 15, you play this, you get the board back. Next turn you're playing like a Scale of Onyxia to conquer the board even more, or Miracle Growth. Or sometimes, a lot of times, you ramp and on the turn 6, they've beaten you down, you play this for 5 mana, you play an Earthen Scales, you're back in the game, and sometimes it just wins you the game, really. And to top off the deck, we have 2 heavy hitters, 2 cards that have been compared to herself. We have the newest Colossal outside of Azumat, which is Neptulon the Tidehunter, and Raid Boss Onyxia. You know how good Raid Boss Onyxia is. And if people are comparing Neptulon to Onyxia, then you see why this card is good. This card has some unique functions. It's more of a win condition than Raid Boss Onyxia is. Raid Boss is more of a defensive tool. But if you play this versus some decks, after surviving for so many turns, they just cannot deal with it. And let me tell you, you don't know the feeling of playing this after you play Vandar on turn 4, and then you play this on turn 5 or 6 with an Innervate. They can't beat this card, and this card is dealing so much damage the next turn if it survives. Even if they kill the arms of Neptulon, it just has win free on its own, so it's dealing 14 by itself. It's actually doing more damage if they kill the arms. So it's a really cool little trick. They spend a lot of time getting rid of the arms, and they don't have enough stuff to get rid of the actual Neptulon. It just deals 14 to face, gets a lot of extra damage in there. But yeah, that's main of the deck. I'll talk about some little tips here. Let's talk about Spammy a little bit. I think that Spammy probably can find room in this deck, and if you are playing this deck and you feel like you really need Spammy, but you're not liking the heals as much, then take out the Boomkin, put a Spammy in there. You can try playing 1 Onyxia Warder, 1 Spammy, maybe 1 Onyxia Warder, 2 Spammies, if you don't like Wrath as much, but I highly recommend keeping it to Wrath. It's really good right now versus Slither Spear. But really treat this like a beatdown deck versus most decks, because Zakusan is really only there for hardcore control, which right now is Warrior, sometimes versus Warlock, stuff like that, if you see a Cursed Warlock on ladder. But treat it like a beatdown ramp deck, and really try to get them in range of Alexstrasza. I can't stress that enough. You need to know your role with this deck a lot of times. You are a beatdown deck, and you are beating people in the face, and once you do enough damage, you get them to 8 damage, they are dead. You will kill them with this card a lot of times. And yeah, that's basically this deck. I want to try Azumat in this deck. This deck doesn't go super wide a lot of times, but Azumat just seems a little lackluster right now, not that great in this deck, but Neptulon is, as for new cards. But I hope you try this deck out. It's really fun, and here's some gameplay. So happy diving, everyone. He's just like, "Meow, blood." Another Warlock. Wow, Curselock out and about today, huh? And granted, some of these could be Rogue, so but it was Curselock last time, so let's play like it was. We got Vandar and Wildheart Gov on the play. So I mean, drawing an Innervate's never bad here. Alright, are you a Warlock or are you a This is a Rogue. Okay. That's not a rogue. What's up, clone? What's up, my homie? We're going to aquatic form for a. Oh, never mind. We got wild growth. We drew it on curve, so we're good. Toxic druid player. How's it feel, guys? Now we're by at the bottom of the rankings. We're at the bottom of the statistics, man. I mean, he's kind of done nothing for the 4 turns, so he's kind of gave us like the. I mean, he's got boat. That's fine. So, Clone, when's your Master Tour? Which one are you qualified for? Five? So ended. Not sure when. I was hoping you knew because I did not know. I have no clue. Ooh. I mean, of course. I didn't even have to do that, but it lets me play the sister, I guess, right? Yes, Sarah coming in for the win. Yes, Sarah said, cracking is toxic though. When I was saying I didn't enjoy some of Driz power plays on Twitter, responding with sly emojis, cries of war, and general snarky and sarcasm for all those who didn't think it is. Yes, Sarah, best girls in the much walking. Especially when I'm with like a bunch of people who work at Disney, or have worked at Disney, so they're like, so they were like, okay, we're getting up, we're gonna be there at when the park opens. Which, by the way, I fully agree that getting there where the park opens is probably a good idea. Like, nobody is there in the mornings. It doesn't really get hot till the middle of the day. So like, if so middle of the day, hang out, get some lunch. Maybe stay inside a little bit more, and all that kind of stuff. But it was very, very fun. I enjoyed it. This is a weird situation because if he were to buff it, it'd be really bad. So I think we have to coin. As much as I don't want to do that. Yes, I think him playing Doggy Biscuit on it is super bad. So. Look at that mustache. Hey, I've gotten some compliments. Hey, I will say that one of the operators of the dinosaur ride at Disney winked at me. I'm just saying, the mustache is pulling through, Sam. I'm just saying. This man's doing dirty things. I'm mad. I don't know why everybody were playing Hunter. On mustaches? Hey, with the direction of you and my mom, it's gone very well. Why is this guy so mean? This guy does not understand. He has fallen for my trap card. Where he will play his thing. he will attack me. He will do a lot of damage to me. And then I will play my Localar and double Earthen Scales. And he has fallen for my trap card. Silly fool. How dare, how silly could you think you are? Those are the only two you need? Yeah, probably. I'm actually very fortunate. I did mess up my trimming a little bit. I sent it to my mom. I was like, look, Mom, I think I messed up my trimming a little bit. I went along the edges of the, of my mustache right. So I did the bottom of the lip really well. But I'm left-handed, so I did this side on the trimming good. But since I had to go across my face, I think I messed this side up a little bit. But it's all right. We're learning. Localar, the Toxic Lord. He's like insulting his opponent, but he's just like an ice giant, so he's or an ice elemental, so he's just like he's just. He actually weakened his own damage, which is hilarious, but... Bro, is that my boy Kolak coming in? My boy Kolak coming in with the clutch? The Boomkin coming in with the clutch? I don't want to hear no Boomkin slander ever again. Why is the Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park? Why is he? I don't know. Actually, Localar does have a voice. Because Localar is the opposite of Ragnaros, basically. So. I mean, we're gonna play Kolak. We're gonna heal ourselves for 8. We should have ramped. That gummit. I need to count my mana more. But that's pretty good. We're in a good position here. He silenced the biscuit. How could he get rid of his biscuit like that? How could we don't like no biscuit haters in this house. Shaking crying right now. He's like, he's got a turtle and a pumpkin. He's like, this will be his play, right? Bear. Bear. Oh my goodness. And tourniquet. Oh yeah, I forgot tourniquet. We'll keep the ramp. We're looking for the wrath also. Okay, well we got the ramp. Okay, he didn't have a 1-drop, so I'm really looking for a I guess we're gonna ramp here or next turn, ramp in the ramp since we have both these. We can get ahead of this curve a little bit. Ooh, baby. That's a draw right there. Bandar. Bing, 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 bing. Just like It's one of the best sound effects in the game, though. I do like his like slamming hammers together. This guy's going really into this whole. Interesting. Okay. The fact that he's letting us build up our hand and all that's really wild. We're gonna play Best Girl because the 4-12 on turn 5 is pretty good. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Hello? And we'll probably spin a turn here. If it doesn't do anything too major, like this is fine. Okay. He's gonna try to draw 2 here or something. Okay. He's gonna draw 2 here, so I understand. He just wants to draw 2. Okay. I see what you're doing there, bud. Okay, Wrath was actually a pretty good draw there, because we can just like, we can do this. Guff is a pretty good draw. Puts us, does put us at 10 cards, but we do have Kazakhstan in our hand. And I don't think there's a single, like, burn that really loses us the game, probably. So... that's fine. Kolak was one of the better ones though, so we need to get Rick cards out of our hand, so we'll do something like this. Okay. How many dragons have we played? 2, we need 2 more? Okay. We're out? Oh, he's out. Okay, interesting. Yeah, he forgot. We just got back so late, and y'all had to work early, or at least Ash did, so I didn't want to, I wasn't trying to stay there too long, you know. I didn't want to impose, you know. So save it for next time. Give me a reason to, you have to give me a reason to come back, right? So, or next time, or if y'all come visit, bring them with you, I guess. But they're really cool, though. I actually had a pretty funny instance with the Pokemon cards today. I went to class today. Um, I went to class today, right? And I had them in the side pocket, my backpack still. I hadn't taken them out. And I guess one of the people in my class like noticed it, and he like came over to me and was like, "Is that Pokemon cards or whatever?" And I was just like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are those graded?" I'm like, "Yeah, they were like gifts from a friend." He's like, "Whoa, that's really cool." Yeah, he's like, "That's really, really cool." Yeah, they're over there sitting on my desk over there. They're all good now. Happy randomly. Actually, the Wrath and the Wild Heart Guff here are really good. 2 Wraths is pretty good, so he can play his 1-drop or whatever, and we can kill it. And we gotta innervate to get Guff out earlier if we want to. I probably should wait till after the stream to download it, I guess. Okay, we'll get a little kill here. Yeah, we're just gonna kill these things. We could have coined up Guff, but I feel like him not taking over the board like that is part of our, just us not doing that. Pufferfist? So this is the more aggressive version. Okay. Okay. Lady. Okay, he's gonna push some damage here, I guess. Cool. Let's take a look to see what we got going. Miracle Growth is good. We'll take that right now. Gain a mana crystal, play scales. This is looking pretty good so far. I'm liking where this is going. Alright, yes! I look. Auburn's heading to Omaha. Yes! Auburn beats Oregon State 4-3. Let's go! Now he can't really win, I don't think.
What a find! And fully intact. What a find! And fully intact. Ancient power! Ancient power! Ancient power!
What's John T?
Power!
Ancient power. I want the most armor I can get here, so we're going to do this.
There is no measure to my fury!
Yeah, let's go ahead and play Vandar. Go ahead and ramp. We want to ramp always. I mean, I guess we could do this too. Sorry. I just realized we had lethal, so. That was stupid by me.